Okay, guys, I want to officially welcome everybody back to school. Welcome to the 2021 school year. It's been a long road, but we're finally back, and obviously this is going to be a new situation for us, and a lot different than what school may have looked like in the past. But I think if we work together, we can make this happen. There's a lot of things I want to go over with you in this little presentation I put together with you guys. If you have questions, make sure that you ask. If I have you in person, all right, make sure you ask. If you're remote, shoot me an email, post something on Google Classroom. But asking questions is important because there's going to be some things in here that are very new and might seem a little bit odd. But as you guys know, there is a new normal, right? Our old normal is not the way anymore. We have a new normal. And as long as we can operate under the guidelines of this new normal, we'll get back to the old normal and everything will be back to normal again, if that makes any sense whatsoever. All right, so let's get started, guys. I don't want to go too long here. All right, so where am I? My name is Mr. Rankin. I'm your math teacher. All right, you're going to be in room B210, period 1, algebra 2 concepts. There were some schedule issues, so they had to juggle some things. So I think on your schedule it says that you have Mrs. Sobolchik. All right, that has since changed. I'm your teacher now. You're going to go to a different room. It's going to say you have a different room, I think somewhere in upstairs C wing, but you're going to be moving to my room, which is B210. Period 2, Algebra 1, that's a full year course, so we'll be together for the full year. And Period 3 is an Algebra 1 semester course. Okay, moving right along. This is probably the most important page in this slide that you're going to look at, guys. I put together a little table here with your class. Okay, you see your class in this column here, your Google Classroom code for that class, and then your remind code for that class. As you guys know, pretty much everything is going to be operated through Google Classroom. So we're going to get you on my site. All right, if you haven't done that already, and then through Remind, I'll be sending some stuff out so you can be reminded to check your Google Classroom for updates and things like that. We'll take care of this, but if you're remote and you're not with me on day one, or if you're absent for whatever reason, try and get on these two things so we can kind of be off and running there. All right. My class page, use this link to access my class page. So if you click on the link here with my name, Mr. Rankin, it's going to take you right to my class page with some basic information on things we just talked about. Over here, you see, Google Classroom codes and Remind codes and things like that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't use this class page a whole lot, just with some basic information. Google Classroom is the place to go. That's going to be the place to be. So we can get right out of there. Okay. We go to the next page. Okay. Here are the links to your Google Classroom pages. Okay. So if you want to join, so if you were in my Period 1 Algebra 2 Concepts, there's the link. You click it and you're there. Algebra 2 Concepts, and everything you're going to need is going to be right here. And we'll talk, more about this a little bit later. Okay. Moving right along. Okay. There should have been a picture here. I don't know why it's not. Okay, I'll fix that. For access to tutorials, lessons, notes, etc. Okay, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll give you a little sneak peek right now, guys. Okay, if you subscribe to my channel, this is going to be what you're going to look at right here. Okay, there's going to be a lot more videos than these uploaded. This is stuff from the spring. So when you're on remote, you're going to be given lessons, through Screencastify and YouTube and things like that, and they're always going to be here. So, if you're in my Algebra 1 class and, you forget how to execute the product of powers rules, all right, here would be a clip on executing the product of powers, okay? And you can always go back to it. So if you subscribe to it, you could always go back to that channel. Like I said, there should have been a logo here for you to look for. But it'll be updated. And if we go back to YouTube, I don't have to go back to YouTube, but there'll be a logo for you to look for. Just type in Mr. James Rankin and you'll find it. Oh, there it is. Okay, I don't know why that didn't pop right away, but there's my YouTube channel. That's what you're looking for. You can see I have 11 subscribers so far, and hopefully you're the next one. All right, so some general guidelines for students in the classroom. I'm not going to go crazy with this, guys, because most of this is stuff you've already heard before, and you should already know by now, considering the fact that you're in high school, okay? You're expected to be quiet, attentive, and respectful in class. When somebody else is talking, guys, please let them have the floor. whether it's me or another student contributing to the room. Okay. You're in high school now. I want to treat you like high schoolers. All right. So everybody's going to be given the opportunity to speak. Throw your hand up in the air and contribute whenever you want. All right. Just be respectful of each other. Don't touch anything, take anything that does not belong to you. Keep your hands to yourself. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You're expected to be on time. If you're not in the classroom and the bell rings, you're going to be more late. Guys, you have 8 minutes of passing time now with the new schedule that we're on. 8 minutes is more than enough time for you freshmen. The school's going to be new. It seems a little intimidating when you first come here because the school is very big. It's a lot bigger than McAuliffe, or any other middle school that you went to. But once you get it down, it's pretty easy to navigate, to find the quickest way to get to places. And if you're having trouble, I can obviously help you with that. But you are expected to be on time. We're going to talk about hallway time in a little bit, so I don't want to harp on that too much. You're expected to be prepared for class, required materials, pen, pencil, notebook, calculator. If you don't have your own calculator, guys, try and find yourself a scientific calculator. They cost about $13. All right, so if you go to Staples or Target or a place like that, they have them. Something basic. You don't need anything crazy. Something that is a scientific calculator. If you're not sure, ask. And most importantly, this year, guys, everybody was assigned a Chromebook. Bring that every single day. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but make sure you have that every day. No cell phones. You guys know the deal with cell phones, okay? They're in your bag. They're in your pocket. Please don't put me in a situation where I have to confiscate your cell phone. I don't like doing that. Like I said, you're in high school. You're young adults. I want to be able to treat you like young adults. So please just keep your phones away and be respectful of our time together. We're only going to have an hour in person this year, or at least until things get back to normal. So we gotta take advantage of that hour together. So please don't waste time on your phones. Keep it away, and at the end of the period, if we have a little downtime, you can check your Instagram, check your Snapchat, and do your thing. No food or drink in class. This is more important this year probably than any other with everything that's going down. Unless obviously you have a doctor's note. There have been some questions about water bottles. All right. I'm looking into that because water bottles may be the exception to this rule. But until I get the go ahead, you can't have anything. If you have a water bottle, keep it in your bag, things like that. But there's going to be no eating in class. And that includes me, guys. That obviously includes me. I got to follow those rules too. Ask questions and participate on a daily basis so that you can understand the material. Guys, contribute. I want classes to be an open discussion. Obviously, there's, I'm going to dominate the talking because I got to teach. I got to show you guys some new stuff. But that doesn't mean that I have to be the only one doing the talking. Please contribute. Raise your hand. Make suggestions. Show different ways to do a problem. Inquire about different ways to do a problem. If that's the type of class we're going to have, it's going to be a lot more fun and engaging for everybody. So please participate. And it's only going to help you. It's only going to help you master the material better. All right. Homework policy, guys. This is a math class. Math is a lot like a sport or playing an instrument. It requires practice, and practice in math class comes in the form of homework. So, obviously we're in a unique situation this year with hybrid. I'm going to have you in person a day, and then you're going to be remote the next. So we're not going to be able to move as quickly as we would be if we were in person every single day. But you're going to learn something new each day, and you're going to have to reinforce that. So you're going to get homework. It's going to be checked for completeness, not correctness. Okay. I want to see that you're practicing. If you get them all wrong, we'll work together. We'll try and figure it out, but at least you're practicing on your own. Okay. That's what homework is meant for, to see how you do kind of when you take the training wheels off, for lack of a better way of saying it. Right. And if you fall down, you fall down. We'll get you back up on that bike and we'll get you rolling. And last year, if you're caught cheating on an assignment, you're going to receive a 0. Guys, I know there's apps out there like PhotoMath that you can use on your phone. I think it's a very good tool for you guys to use to get better and check your work and things like that. But it's really, really easy for me to figure out when you cheated and use PhotoMath because, like all math teachers, we each have our own little twist to how you do certain things. And PhotoMath, has their way, and that might be, or that might not be Mr. Rankin's way. So it's going to be very easy for me to figure out that, if I taught it to you one way, and you have it done a completely different way and it matches up with photo math, it's really not hard for me to figure out. So please just practice academic integrity, guys. I know the temptation is easy, especially when you're remote, to get the homework done as quickly as possible, but you're not going to get any better doing it that way. Okay, so all homework assignments this year are going to be turned in through Google Classroom. Okay, I attached a couple links here to help you do that. Hopefully by now you guys are pretty well versed in turning things in, and I will help you along the way if you're having trouble. But these are some links to some YouTube clips that can help you if you are having trouble. Obviously, guys, typing up a math assignment is very challenging. So I would encourage you to do your homework, on a worksheet if you can print the worksheet out, or on a separate sheet of paper in your notebook, and then take a picture of it and submit it that way. That's the best way to do it. So this last link down here will show you how to do that. So take a look at these clips if you're having trouble. If not, we can try and iron it out when you're with me in person. Okay, grading policy, guys. You have 60% of your final grade is based on assessments. Those are your tests, your mid-chapter quizzes, your notebook quizzes, your quick quizzes. Your tests are going to have study guides, and we'll devote a day to reviewing for those. Same thing with your mid-chapter quizzes. If we're in the middle of a heavy chapter and we got to take a halfway break, we'll review for that. We'll prepare for that. But there should be no surprises on tests and quizzes. You should not be surprised. If you're paying attention to the review, you've paid attention throughout the course of the chapter, you study the study guide the day before the test, you should be ready to roll. As far as notebook quizzes and quick quizzes, those are going to be in person, maybe on the spot. If you're taking good notes, these shouldn't be an issue. These are usually open note quizzes based on definitions, examples, things we've gone over in class. Those should be easy A's. So if I give you those, you should actually be thanking me, because those are gifts. Homework is 20% of your final grade. It's a 5-point grade. If for some reason you see a grade that is lower than a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, or a 1, and you're not sure why, ask. Okay, usually it's for a lack of showing work, or you're late, or obviously it's incomplete. Okay, I assigned 20 problems and you only did 15 of them. All right, so you're not going to get full credit if you don't complete the full assignment. So if you don't receive a 5 out of 5 on a homework assignment and you're unsure why, ask. Okay, and maybe I made a mistake, or if I didn't make a mistake, I'll definitely explain it to you. And then participation, that's going to be 20% of your final grade. I grade do nows in class the same way I would grade a homework assignment. Okay, obviously when you're remote, this is going to be a little bit different. So participation is going to be a little bit different this year than I would normally do. But really, those are your do now grades. I collect them, take a look at them, see how you're doing, or you turn them in, using a Google form. A lot of things this year are going to be paperless. Actually, I should say everything's going to be paperless. So you're going to turn them in, and we'll see how you do with those. Those are graded just like homework assignments. Okay, Google Meets. This is obviously something new. If you are virtual on a given day, you're going to have a required Google Meet, later in your day. Obviously, I'll be teaching from about 7 in the morning to about noon, and then I get a lunch break, and then that's when our Google Meet starts. So periods 1, 2, and 3, those are the classes that I teach. You see the times there for your Google Meets. You are required to be on your Google Meet at the very least for attendance purposes. So I can tell you this, guys, on most days, you're going to get an assignment from me via Google Classroom, and that's going to be sent out in the morning when you are home. I would say 95% of those assignments are going to have a video attached to them, something for you to watch with a lesson or a review or something along those lines. At the very least, you should have that video watched by the time our Google Meet comes around. So when the Google Meet comes around and I taught you how to add and subtract polynomials that day, and you watch the video and you have some questions on some of the examples in that 20-minute block of time that we have, which is obviously not a lot, we can talk and we can iron that out. All right. But that's what that Google Meet is going to be for. I obviously can't get in a whole lesson in 20 minutes. That's going to be very challenging. And then when we're in person, we can obviously get a lot more done because you'll be with me for an hour. But at the very least, you got to check in for attendance purposes. you have to be there. Okay, the next page, guys, some virtual classroom rules. Okay, please be on time. Don't keep everybody waiting. Act like you're at school. Obviously, you're home. Find a quiet place. Usually that's your bedroom. Okay, sit in one spot, guys. Don't be moving around. Don't be moving around. Just try to sit in one spot. Keep yourself muted. Keep in mind, we're going to have a group of people in class, so keep yourself muted. Turn on your video. I want to see you. I don't want to see a blank screen. I want to see your face. All right. So, comb your hair, brush your teeth, make yourself presentable, do what you got to do. I would much rather talk to a face than a blank screen. If you want to talk, same thing as in class, raise your hand. Okay. Try and avoid eating, guys. It's not a big deal if you have a bottle of water next to you or whatever, but if you have a McDonald's value meal and just try and keep the eating to a minimum. And obviously, guys, listen, because we're going to be going over some important stuff. So make sure that you ask some questions and take advantage of that 20-minute block of time that we have. All right, so here's the new stuff, guys. Here are the guidelines for the students in the building. There's a lot of new things in here. All right, you have to wear a mask at all times, as do I. Okay, they must be appropriate, no bandanas. Students can wear a shield if they have documentation. Guys, obviously the mask is that's kind of like our new normal right now. Walking in stores and going places, we got to wear a mask pretty much anywhere we go, unless we're outside. I know it stinks. I know it's an inconvenience, and I'm not happy about it either. But it's what we have to do to stay safe, and it's one of the things we have to do to make this hybrid thing work. So we all have to do it. We're all in that one together. So keep your mask on. Make sure it's appropriate, and let's limit the issues that we have with that. Hallway travel, guys, there's going to be limited hallway travel in between classes. We talked about that earlier. You're going to have 8 minutes in between. You're going to have to get from point A to point B as quickly as you can. There's going to be no lockers. There's going to be no congregating in the hallways. You're going to have to go from class to class as quickly as possible. And the teachers have been told to kind of move you along and get you to class. Obviously, with everything going on, that large groups of people, especially indoors, is not a good thing when it comes to COVID. We have an announcement in the middle of my presentation here.
To the main office. Please return those sheets to the main office. Also, Mr. Noble, I will be giving a lecture on new economics at Socrates at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Okay, guys, sorry about that. That was actually Mr. Bender making an announcement. The teachers were in school today. We're in school. Today's Friday. We're here. Anyway, hallway travel, getting back to what I was saying, hallway travel is going to be limited. If you have an appointment, if you want to make an appointment with your guidance counselor, child study, your vice principal, you're going to have to send them an email. The days of, raising your hand and asking to go see your guidance counselor, those are over, guys. You got to make appointments now. We're trying to limit people in the hallway. So reach out and make appointments. Obviously, if there's emergencies, we'll see how that goes. Students are only going to walk on the right side of the hallway. You'll see the arrows. So students on the right, stay on the right, please. There's going to be tape. We talked about no locker use. Okay. Limited number of students who can enter the bathroom. The teachers have been told that are on hall duty to not allow more than one person in the bathroom at a time. So, guys, I can tell you this, as far as leaving the room to use the bathroom, it's going to be one at a time at most. And, there's going to be times where I'm going to have to say no. I hate to say that. I don't want to do that, but we only have 60 minutes together. We have to maximize that time. And, we're trying to limit students in the hallway. So, if you have to go to the bathroom and it's an emergency, obviously I'll let you go, as long as it doesn't become, an everyday thing. No eating in the classroom. We already talked about that. Okay. So here's your bathroom schedule, guys. As crazy as that sounds, there's only going to be certain bathrooms open each period. And this is allowing the custodians basically to get in there and clean and make sure everything is disinfected for the next period. And, that's obviously the world we live in today, guys. So my classes are periods 1, 2, and 3. So here's you guys, periods 1, 2, and 3. My classroom is upstairs. Okay, so my classroom is upstairs. So if you have me for period 1, that's my Algebra 2 Concepts group, you're going to want to use the B wing bathrooms, and I will show you where they are. They are actually really close. They're right outside my room. If you were in my period 2, you're going to use the upstairs BC connection. I'll show you where that is. And if you were in my period 3, you're going to use the B wing bathrooms. I will show you where these are so you know how to get there. But this is a chart. I'm sure your other teachers are going to go over this with you as well. And this is going to be one of those things that you're going to have to get used to. So, we'll figure it out. Okay, guidelines for the nurse's office. The nurse's office is only to be used if you're sick or ill and you have a medical emergency or medication disbursement. If you have some sort of medication that you leave with the nurse that you take daily and they have access to and you need it, obviously you can go there for that. You're not going to be allowed to use their bathroom. That's for students and staff. All right, their bathroom is going to be off limits unless you have some sort of documentation. Okay, how does the schedule work? Classes are going to be on a shortened day schedule. We talked about that. If you're in person, you're going to be with your classes for an hour. You're reporting alternately, groups 1, groups 2, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Thursday, and then alternate your Fridays. Okay, the groups were split up alphabetically, guys. So, the groups aren't exactly even. So I think I have a class of 19 or 18 period 2, and I think it's split up 11 and 7. That's just how the numbers worked out. Then your announcements are going to be made during the morning, and at the end of the day, when you dismiss from your period 4 class, it's going to be staggered, odd, even classes are going to dismiss. Okay, so here are your groups. This is the group 1, group 2 breakdown for period 1. Again, this may change, but you guys should already know this by now. This is period 2. We'll go over this more when you're in person, and then this would be period 3 of how it's going to break down. Okay, and here's how your schedule is going to operate. All right, we've gone over this already. I'm not going to dive deeply into this. When you're in person, you follow your schedule, and then you go to your Google Meets in the afternoon, and you meet with your teachers if you were virtual. Okay, if you were remote. Okay. As far as the schedule, what days are what, you can use this link. If you click this link, it's going to take you to what day is what. So I'm going to screw this up too, guys. What days group 1, group 2, and it's going to take some time to get used to. But here's an easy access calendar to where you need to be, and it goes all the way to, I think, the holiday break. Yeah, it goes all the way to December 23rd, which happens to be a group 1A day. So you can kind of follow this along and see where you're at. Obviously, here's the first day of school, September 8th, and that's a group 2 day. I know that's weird. You think that'd be group 1. Group 2 comes on Tuesdays. So group 2, I'm going to see you first. Okay. So there's the schedule. Moving right along here. Chromebooks, guys. Everybody's going to have a Chromebook. That's great. Right? That's good for you to do your remote stuff and do some in-class stuff. Make sure it's charged at night. I know one of the last things I do before I go to bed at night is I put my cell phone on a charger so that the next morning I know I got a fully charged phone ready for the day. I'm not going to have to charge it again. I would advise that you do the same thing with your Chromebook. Throw it on your charger, put it in a place where you're going to be able to find it the next morning, and bring it to school fully charged so you have it for the day. If for whatever reason, guys, you have a Chromebook that lacks a charge, or if you forget it, the school does have an allotment of Chromebooks to lend you, obviously, that need to be returned at the end of the day. But if you can limit that, that would be huge, because there's enough going on in this building as it is. So the more we can help everybody else out, that would be huge. So remember to bring a fully charged Chromebook every single day. Cleanliness in the building, guys. Again, the time we live in now, wash your hands frequently. The desks are going to be cleaned in between classes. You guys are going to help me with that. It's nothing crazy, just a quick spray and a wipe. And there's going to be hand sanitizer and stuff like that in the classroom for you to use. So, make sure you're practicing hygiene and staying clean. Miscellaneous stuff, I think we talked about all this. No lockers, we talked about that. Fully charged Chromebook. Textbooks, you're going to get a textbook. Okay, I'm going to give you a book. I can't promise that we're going to use it a lot in class, but at the very least, it's a resource for you to have at home. If your Chromebook dies, or you forgot your Chromebook somewhere, or whatever the case may be, have your textbook there with you so you can at least look at that and have it to use. And then students are encouraged to have their own calculator. We talked about that as well. Guys, that's all I got. I mean, I know I went through a lot there, and I know it's a lot to take in. Let's make this a great year, as this slide says. Keep calm. We're all in this together. I mean, if there's ever a time where that's true, guys, this is true, or this time period is when that's true. I know the hybrid is certainly not the way we want to come back, wearing a mask in school and going through following all these guidelines and stuff. But if we want to get back to, our normal school days and getting all that stuff back, we got to make this hybrid thing work. And that's going to take all of us working together and, making everything I just talked about kind of work, no congregating in the hallways, keep your mask on, go from point A to point B as quickly as you can. Doesn't mean you got to sprint, doesn't mean you can't say hi to your friends and all that stuff. But, if we can all follow these guidelines and we can make this work and we can slowly inch our way back to normal, then we'll put this hybrid thing behind us. We'll get back to normal school days. So, I'm looking forward to getting together with you guys and seeing you on Tuesday, seeing group 2 on Tuesday and seeing group 1 on Wednesday and talking more in person. I think that's something I missed. I think I would put that near the top of the list of things I missed the most about being in school. I like being around you guys. So I'm looking forward to meeting all you guys and teaching you a little bit of math and making this a great year. So I guess I'll see you on Tuesday and Wednesday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Labor Day weekend. And I'll see you next week.